Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. Last time we took on Elecman and Iceman, the two toughest robot masters in this game, and probably two of the toughest in the Mega Man series in general. Toughest only if you don't have their weakness weapons. So now we're going to take on Bomb Man and Cut Man. Now, a lot of people say that Bomb Man is a good place to start in this game. And while his stage is one of the more easier stages of the game, I would argue that's not the case, because the idea with, starting with an easy stage, you want to collect weapons that will make your life easier in the other stages. Bomb Man's weapon doesn't really do that. In fact, there's probably about 2 places in the entire game where his weapon could be used, and even in those situations, Thunder Beam and Firestorm could just be better. It is possible to get up there while dodging that, I just didn't do it that time. Plus there's a big health right there, so I don't really care if I dodge that or not. But Bomb Man's stage can also be fairly tricky because of these infamous Sniper Joes. And in the first Mega Man game, they act very randomly. They will randomly decide when they're going to open up their shield and allow you to attack them. I recommend using Ice Slasher to freeze them in place. And actually, we'll find out a little bit later, if you Ice Slash them even while they're still shielded, they will become vulnerable anyways. And then you can just blast them with the Mega Buster. They're quite a beefy enemy, and there you see an issue that I have with the Thunder Beam, as it just kind of curves around the enemy sometimes. Oh, hey there. Shark Bombs. First Mega Man game is also... well, it happens in a few other instances, I'm sure. But there's a lot of enemies that will just indefinitely keep spawning, which is usually not a good thing. These are one of them. Those Shark Bombs are another example. The Penguins are another example. We have a lot of examples in this for just one game. Get that one up there. Fairly easy to get. You can just hang out on that ledge and wait for the Sniper Joe to jump up and shoot him. I don't feel like waiting that long. And here you can see, yeah, I froze him before he decided to make himself vulnerable, but then he became vulnerable anyways. Ice Slasher is really good against the Sniper Joes and those Big Eye enemies. It's just unfortunate that we can't really get it sooner. I mean, technically you can go there first, but technically I don't want to go there without the Magnet Beam. And this is Bomb Man. He's weak to Firestorm, so we have that, we may as well use it, and he's dead. General strategy, just let him kind of bounce around the room, keep your distance from him, and his bombs can have somewhat of a large blast radius, so try to avoid them the best you can, but again, you can always turn that into a bit of a damage race. I think the Mega Buster does 2 points of damage to Bomb Man, so again, not a horrible choice to go to first, but as far as collecting weapons to make the other stages easier, Bomb Man doesn't really get you anywhere. Alternatively, I would argue to go to Cut Man first. You see those little propeller things, they will home in on you. They are pretty quick, but you can take them out with the Mega Buster. And I just wanted to show that off. Alternatively, the Firestorm is great there because it creates a little bit of a barrier around you where if they run into that barrier, they will take damage and die. I like Firestorm. So if you have that by this point, good idea to use it here. Same with the Thunder Beam. But if you're going to Cut Man first, it's not going to be, you're not going to have these weapons. So why go to Cut Man first? Well, he has probably the easiest stage in my opinion. It's mostly just a bunch of enemy challenges. There's very few bottomless pits or spikes. We saw a little bit more of that in Bomb Man stage. Those enemies, those hopping enemies, they can be a problem because your Mega Buster can't hit them if you're both on the same level field. But again, Firestorm is amazing against them. And Thunder Beam can be amazing, or it can curve around them. Again, these enemies that can take a whole bunch of hits from the Mega Buster go down in one hit from either Thunder Beam or Firestorm. You know, that spot was actually a spot where we could have put a Hyper Bomb. The issue with Hyper Bomb and why it's not good here is that, well, you'll see. There's a spot like right up here where we're going to use it. And so you launch the thing, and it sits there for several seconds. Now, in a fast-paced action platformer like this, you can see why this could be a problem. Your enemy moves out of the blast radius, then you're just sitting there with the bomb on the screen. And also what's bad is in the first few Mega Man games, you actually can't open your pause menu while you have a projectile on the screen. You have to wait for that projectile to be done. So if you launch a bomb and it's sitting there, and you have an enemy like jump or move past it, and they're coming to get you, you can't switch to another weapon, you have to wait for your bomb to go off. It is bad. And there's where Ice Slasher is really good against those big eye enemies. And you know what, let's use a weapon in here because it's not like... Well, Cutman's weakness is actually Gutsman's weapon. See, it curved around the enemy. Should have used Firestorm. Wouldn't have had that problem. One of the few places we can actually use Gutsman's weapon, because you have to have very specific blocks to pick up in order to use Gutsman's weapon. And watch me screw this up. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't screw it up. Yeah, each block will cut his health in half. Well, we cut him down to size, so with that, I will see you guys next time, and we'll start the Dr. Wily stages.